This popcorn is as dull as that movie we watched last night.
You bet it is. I want my money back.
I hate this popcorn.
What's wrong, my friends? Did I hear your popcorn is boring? Try the official Slasher Fest popcorn in terrifying new flavors. Carrie's Prom Queen Sparkle Bouquet, Crystal Lake Caramel Crunch, Kruger's Triple Chocolate Threat, Killer Clowns Cotton Candy Cocoons, and more at deaditesondeck.com.
Hi, I am Ozzy the Wonder Squirrel. Don't forget to watch Evil Dead Chick on Deadites on Deck on YouTube. Oh, and subscribe, man.
Come on down to the drive-in tonight. Evil Dead Chick is screening a slasher double feature. Slasher Fest is here. Bring your popcorn with extra butter, please. Put some soda on ice. Let's go! The blood will flow, the gore will splatter. Forget your stress, nothing else will matter. Except the movies and the memories. Come on down to the drive-in tonight. Evil Dead Chick is screening a slasher double feature. Slasher Fest is here. Here. Bring your popcorn with extra butter, please. Put some soda on ice. Let's go! The blood will flow, the gore will splatter. Forget your stress, nothing else will matter. Except the movies and the memories.
Howdy, gang. Hey, the poet, and welcome to yet another Evil Dead Chick Slasher Fest. This one was delayed from March. We're having it the first Friday in April. And I hope you guys and gals have had a fantastic day. I've had a little bit of a hectic day. I'm not going to go into it, but it was a little hectic. And y'all let me know if you like the my nameplate this big. StreamYard has made a change where you can enlarge the text for your name and your headlines. I'm going to go ahead and put the Slasher Fest overlay up there. So if you think it's too big, I can bring it down to a medium. I'm not sure. So I just want, and some of y'all may not care either way. You may say, gee, Dana, I don't care how big the name is as long as it's not covering up anything important I need to see. But we are going to, well, I should say I'm going to attempt to show 2 movies tonight. We're just going to see how it goes. And if people aren't able to stay for both movies, that's okay. But I probably will, if nobody can stay, I will probably cut on out of here after Friday the 13th Part 5. Okay. I hope that's fair to everybody. If people come in and they, stick around, there's maybe 1 or 2 people in the chat after Friday the 13th Part 5 is over. What? Not much people do they hate Friday 5 that much? I don't know, the poet. Maybe it's they don't like me. I don't know. But I'm trying the Slasher Fest double feature yet again. If this proves to not be fruitful or doesn't seem like something anybody wants, then I will cut it back to 1 movie again. Or I may put it up for a vote like I did with the watch-alongs. Because, I don't want to waste y'all's time, and I certainly don't want to waste my time sitting, I don't mean this to come off sounding mean, but I don't like to sit here and talk to myself. I'm not a fun person to talk to. So I like interacting with you guys and gals out there. And if people don't have the time to stay for 2 movies, then I totally understand that. So we're going to get started with Friday the 13th Part 5 here in just a little bit. Hopefully, if you don't have your own copy and you want to watch along, that you've checked out the links I put in the description for the stream. If anybody needs me to repost those, I'll be glad to do it. Of course, I probably will freeze up if I go to a different tab, but I am willing to do that for you folks if you would like me to put them in the chat. I hope y'all also, for those of you that were here early enough to see the commercial for the official release of the Slasher Fest popcorn, I hope you enjoyed that. And hopefully, some people want to start, purchasing the popcorn here shortly. I've been talking to Candace, and Candace has been talking to me about different ways that I can advertise. And, all of those ways that she's been telling me have been very good ways. And so I'm trying to incorporate the, not just advertising on YouTube, because that's one thing that she told me. She said advertising on YouTube is fine, but she says I think you need to reach a wider audience. So, maybe start putting the popcorn on Marketplace on Facebook. That way people in your neighborhood, if they're interested in it, they can, come by your house for a bag of it. They can schedule a time to come by for a bag of it and pay you for it. And that's fine with me. And I ended up putting it on Facebook Marketplace. I've also just been advertising on Facebook on my page as well. And if you guys and gals want to help me out and get the word out there, just tell people if they're interested in any of this custom horror-related popcorn, they can hop on over to deaditesondeck.com. Make sure you go to the second shop page, and that way you will see the official Slasher Fest popcorn plus the Creep Show specific flavors that I have added to the product line. So I don't have any popcorn fixed, but Steve brought me some dill pickle chips in, so I'll probably be eating those as we go through the movie or movies if we end up watching both of them. But we're going to go ahead and get started here in just a little bit. I'm going to get my version of Friday 13 Part 5, and I'm watching, this is from the Screen Factory set that came out a few years ago. And I'm going to tell y'all where I'm queued up to here in just a little bit. And then we'll give y'all a minute or two to get queued up as well on your respective copies. And, you know, if there happens to be anybody that wants to join me live on the stream, let me know and I'll send you the link. Again, two prerequisites. You have to be 18 years of age or older. And you have to behave yourself. And I think everybody knows what behaving yourself means when you're on a live stream. Okay? So. All right. So, folks, I've got Friday the 13th Part 5 queued up to, well, it's queued up 13 seconds in on my Blu-ray to the Paramount, a Gulf Western company. So I'll give everybody a couple of minutes to get queued up if you're going to be watching along. And then we'll go ahead and get the movie started. Maybe, you know, I've seen various people coming in, and I know that StreamYard and YouTube have been having an issue with relaying the correct number of viewers. So there may be 4 or 5 of you in here, but it's only showing me 1. So you just never know about these things. So I'm just making sure I got the subtitles on. And but again, I hope everybody's had a fantastic Friday. We're getting ready to go into the weekend. This is Easter weekend. And I'm not sure that I'm going to be doing anything over the weekend. This may be the last thing I do for the week. Well, with the exception of my path to becoming a positive renegade. Dang, those people that was hoping I wouldn't do one. No, I'm going to do it on Easter Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And this week's my path to becoming a positive renegade is going to be on not taking the bait. And I don't think I need to explain that too much. But if you want to know what I'm going to be talking about, tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday night, where it's going to be another My Path to Becoming a Positive Renegade on Don't Take the Bait, folks. And again, this was another learning experience that I had to go through of not taking. When you're being baited, don't take the bait. Don't be like that little fishy that took the bait and got the hook in him. Because that's exactly, metaphorically speaking, that's what will happen to you if you take the bait that somebody's putting out. All right, so I guess we'll go ahead and get started here. We'll do the countdown. And of course, I'll probably have to take my obligatory, you know, bathroom breaks, getting, you know, a refresher on my drink or whatever. I've got the Welch's Ghost energy drink right now, or, you know, a bathroom break, whatever I may have to do. But anyway, let's go ahead and do this countdown and get this party started. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Press play, and we are off and running with Friday 13th Part 5. And I must say that I was not a fan of this movie when I first saw it, because Jason's really not in it. We have a imposter Jason, and you know, this movie grew on me after a while, and now I enjoy it for what it is. And this first little intro is Corey Feldman, reprising his role of Tommy. And the reason, I think the big reason why Corey Feldman could not play Tommy Jarvis in, you know, full length into the movie is because he was doing the Goonies at this time. So they got him to be able to do this one little part here at the beginning. But when they went with, you know, a different person playing Tommy Jarvis, they got somebody that was a few years older than Corey Feldman is right here. Exactly, the poet. You say, I know it ain't Jason, but it's still a Friday the 13th to me. Yeah, I mean, it's still definitely a Friday the 13th. And also, this part turns out to be a nightmare, too, that the more adult Tommy Jarvis is having. So that kind of explains why, you know, we got young Corey Feldman here, and then all of a sudden it's a different guy. Because we don't know we don't know exactly how many years this was between the final chapter in the land of Friday the 13th, that is. Because in the Friday the 13th movies, especially the later ones, they played around with time quite a bit. Where if you really thought about it, the timeline didn't make sense. But who cares? It's a Friday the 13th movie. I don't think many people were thinking about the timeline. And I think this was one my dad talked about quite a bit over the years. This one and part 6. But mainly this one, because my dad would say, oh, yeah, remember that Friday the 13th movie where there were worms on Jason, stuff like that? And this is still a pretty cool opening. And I may play the intermission bumper too, since we do technically have 2 movies scheduled for tonight. And then after the intermission, we'll see if, you know, if anybody's left. If anybody's left, I'll move on with Witchboard. If nobody is, then I will make an announcement, but, you know, we will save Witchboard for another night. So here is the new Tommy Jarvis. I'm not sure, but the guy playing Tommy Jarvis here, he may have been one. I don't mean this to come off sound an insulting way, but I think he may have been somebody that got religion. It's the nicest way that I can put it, and doesn't really, you know, care about their stint in a Friday the 13th movie. So we had all of that for before the actual credits, the beginning credits. Special appearance by Corey Feldman. I agree, the poet. Ethel should have lived. Carol Locatel, God rest her soul. And this, of course, is directed by none other than Danny Simon, God rest his soul. And this is Mark Venturini, God rest his soul, as well. Also from Return of the Living Dead, as one of the punks. There's Juliette Cummings and Dominic Brasha. Dominic Brasha, God rest his soul. A lot of people that are no longer with us from this movie. Yeah, just let me know that we might have rain tomorrow. And there's the lovely Melanie Kinnaman. Sorry, haven't had a thing to drink except for caffeine stuff. I can't seem to talk tonight. But Melanie Kinnaman there. Bonus points for anybody that can tell me who the band was on that record album that we just saw. So we see that Tommy is now at Pinehurst, which is a Apparently, it's a place where they prepare people to return to normal society. I always thought this was funny that the head of this place told Melanie Kinman's character, Pam, asked her to show Tommy to his room, and she just merely points. She doesn't take him there. We're led to believe that his mother died. Jason killed her. But what happened to his sister? What happened to Kimberly Beck's character from part 4? I always wondered about that. And here is Shavar Ross playing Reggie the Reckless here. And my dog Reggie is named after Reggie the Reckless and Reggie Bannister from the Phantasm series. The thing about Carol Locatel, though, is that she was a theater actress. For those of you that didn't know, and um, for her to take on this role, I think that is really cool. It really shows that she wasn't uptight. It was, I mean, this was probably just a job for her, but she played it to the hilt. Um, they told her what she needed to do, and she did it. And she wasn't like one of these people that, oh, I'm a theater actress, I can't do this. So we find out that a couple of the kids or the couple of the young people from Pinehurst were out screwing in the woods. And here is the introduction to Carol Locatel's character here of Ethel. And there's her son, Junior. Now we're getting ready to come up on a scene that probably a lot of people talk about, especially since this film has gotten more popular and gained a little bit of notoriety over the years. Is the chocolate bar scene with Joey, played by Dominic Brasha. Now, I'm not going to get into it, but I've heard things about Dominic Brasha. And I don't know what's true, what's not true. But as a guy in films, I thought he was fine. I don't really know anything and don't care to know about his personal life. Um, but his directing abilities and his acting abilities and the stuff I've seen him in, the stuff I've seen him do, which he directed Evil Laugh, which is one of my favorite slasher movies. So, I would like to think that he was not involved in things with young kids. Um, but as far as his acting ability and his directing ability, those things are something that I concentrate on when I'm talking about, horror movies. So I think he's great as the Joey character. I think he plays this to the hilt. So poor Joey has, messed up their washing by putting his chocolatey hands all over the sheets. So he goes to Vic, played by Mark Venturini. And why anybody would think it was a good idea to give this guy who's very angry an axe, I don't know. But it's going to end very badly here in just a little bit. You should have just kept the candy bar to yourself, Joey. Now, Joey's death is pretty spectacular, though, I will say that. So here we get the introduction to Roy, the paramedic. And this guy who doesn't care about the feelings of anybody. I don't think Roy likes that kind of talk very well. And I think, or at least somebody told me that I don't think it's this guy. I think it's the other guy in the car, Corey Parker, that he passed away kind of recently too. People have joked too that these guys look like they're on their way to like a gay leather bar, but apparently I think they were gonna pick up some chicks. So don't think it's Pete. Well, that's the end of him. So poor Tommy's having flashbacks to when him and his sister were attacked by Jason, and he ends up, supposedly killing Jason. I don't know what the significance of that pink or purple cow is back there. So we're shortly going to realize that Tommy is not dealing with things very well, and that he apparently can get very violent. And Eddie shows up with one of Tommy's handmade masks. Not only did he go in Tommy's room and take something that wasn't his, but he's throwing it around. He's scaring Tommy, and Tommy doesn't take too kindly to that. And now we're back to Ethel and Junior. This is probably one of the most quoted lines. Who the fuck are you and what the fuck do you want? But Roy seemed a lot better today. For the very sleazy Billy here, I think it's Tom DeSimone, but he has a brother too, so I may have the first name incorrect. And coming up is going to be the big It's Showtime scene where Lana or Lana or whatever the heck her name is shows her boobs. She's proud of those boobs. And Billy here is going to try to do a little coke. Now, I don't mean the kind you drink. This movie's also not shy about having the jump scares. Well, that's the end of Billy there. So she's found Billy's cocaine stash there. Um, I think she's going to partake of it a little bit. But this movie also, this Friday the 13th film also has the distinction of having a lot of gut stabs, gut chops, whatever. Um, so, for those of you with a sharp eye, you will notice that when Tommy sees the Jason from his nightmares, it has the little red triangles on the mask. When we get the imposter Jason, he has blue triangles on his mask. So technically, Jason is in this movie, even if it is in delusions that Tommy's having. Hey, Uncle Bill. Um, we're having Slasher Fest and watching Friday 13th Part 5. You going to join us for a little bit? I know you got the Friday Night Lives thing. I guess y'all are still doing that, right? The best one? What's one of the more entertaining ones? And I've come to appreciate it more over the years. What am I eating? These are hers or hairs or dill pickle chips. Steve picked them up for me this afternoon. Normally during the Slasher Fest, I have popcorn, but I didn't fix any popcorn tonight. So here's the Debbie Sue Voorhees, and yes, that is her name. Her big scene. There's another gut stab. Well, that's the plan, Uncle Bill. But like I told people earlier, whoever was in here earlier, that if nobody seems to be around for the second one, then I'll probably make an announcement, cut it off after that. But if some people want to hang around for the second film, then we'll be watching Witchboard. So people that are fans of Debbie Sue Voorhees are getting to see her in all her glory here until this happens. Uncle Bill used to love that movie. Talked to Kevin Tenney about it years ago at breakfast. I love that movie too. And Witchboard has a distinction for me of being the first movie I ever rented when my family got their first VCR. Well, now Eddie's getting his there. So we're coming up on the big those damn enchiladas scene. Where Reggie is going to see his brother Demon. So we have two alumni of Return of the Living Dead. Miguel Nunez, who plays Demon, and Mark Venturini, who plays Victor Fad. And what's more, the next movie in the Friday the 13th series, part 6, has Tom Matthews, who was also in Return of the Living Dead. So I don't know what did Demon stop off at a 7-Eleven and get all this junk food? Because he's got enchiladas and pizza and what have you. So Reggie says that Pam is his girlfriend. So he's got tacos, egg rolls, pizza, enchiladas. So Tommy's having one of his flashbacks here. And Junior comes up, and at first he doesn't realize that he's, one of the people from Pinehurst till he sees the blue truck. So again, Tommy doesn't take kindly to people pushing him or, poking him in the chest and trying to beat him up. So he turns on Junior here. So Tommy beat Junior up and then ran away. So Reggie and Pam gotta go see if they can find him. Oh, here's the damn enchiladas. And when Demon gets in the outhouse here, you may see Victor was here written on the inside, and I'm guessing that is a reference to, or maybe it just said, yeah, Fadden was here, which was Victor's last name. So I guess that's a nod to that character. The poet, you say, which is your favorite actor who plays Tommy? Well, no matter what people say about Corey Feldman nowadays, he'll always be my favorite Tommy as the child Tommy. But I think Tom Matthews um, also does a fantastic job of playing him in part six. This guy would be that plays him in part five would probably be running in third place. And here's the hey baby, ooh baby part. I always find this so funny because he's taking a dump in the outhouse from too many enchiladas. But my dad always talked about this scene in the outhouse too. So I don't know why out of all the Friday the 13th movies, Dad focused quite a bit on this one, but must have been one that he could remember. Well, it ain't Anita, because Anita just got her throat slashed. And then we have that do not write on the walls as well on there. And when Demon dies here after getting a metal pole plunged through him, it's like he's a robot that's going, running down on batteries or something like that. He's just like, oh. I always found that funny too. So, folks, I'm going to take myself out of the stream for a couple of minutes and take my obligatory restroom break, but I will be right back. So, those of you all that are watching along, continue to watch the movie, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back for a little bit, folks. I'll probably go away in a little bit and heat me up some soup. But I didn't want to stay gone too long. Uh-oh. Well, there was the end of Jake. And you also get to see a little bit of Juliet Cummins here, who I would say out of the this role and Slumber Party Massacre 2, Slumber Party Massacre 2 is probably her sexier role, but for those of you that are fans of Juliet Cummins, you probably won't mind. Because she don't look bad here. Uh-oh. And that was a machete up through the bed. But that's been done, with different implements and various other Friday the 13th films. So this actress is Tiffany Helm. I didn't mention that yet. I don't think Tommy's back. But there's some people in his room. Dead people, but and Pam's back. And we're going to start the sequence where that sweater that Pam has around her shoulders, we're going to discover the mystery of the disappearing and reappearing sweater. And you're going to see what I mean here shortly. So you see the difference there? There's the imposter Jason with the blue triangles on the mask. So she still had the sweater there. She don't have the sweater. And she has the sweater again. Uh-oh. So she had the sweater in the scene before. Now she doesn't have the sweater. I'll see if it makes a reappearance. Ah, it's back again. Oh, well, they found Matt. Now, no sweater again. Is it going to make a reappearance? Maybe not. That may be the last time it disappears. And apparently Pam don't like to wear a bra either, as it's evident by that peeking through her very wet white shirt there. Oh, Reggie's grandpa got it. I like that dude too. How in the heck does Reggie know how to drive that thing? So we're down to about the final 15, 16 minutes of the film. And that's including, end credits. So, excuse me. I will probably be going ahead and doing an intermission here after the credits roll on Friday 13th, Part 5. And when I come back after the intermission, then I will determine if we go ahead with Witchboard or we stop at Friday 13th, Part 5. Now, y'all should have ample opportunity to say, hey, Dana, I might not be in here right now, or I'll be in here in a few minutes. And if at least one person says that, then I will go ahead with Witchboard. But if there's nobody in here and nobody says, hey, I'll be in here in a few minutes, then I will call it a night. And I will probably try a double feature one more time. And then I will, if the, the audience isn't there, then I will cut it back, but I'll probably put a poll up just to verify whether you guys want a double feature or just a single feature when I do the Slasher Fest. So Tommy is back. And basically, I guess Tommy's going to have a standoff with Jason here, or what he believes to be Jason. So apparently this person, Jason or not, means business. Because he just slashed Tommy. You won't be here for the next movie? Well, thank you to Poet for letting me know. I appreciate your honesty. Jason, or whoever is acting as Jason Funny thing, what in the heck is this kid doing here? So is Tommy going to save the day here? Let's find out. And who is the imposter Jason? Let's find out. It's Roy. Some long ass fingernails there. So if this is your first time watching Friday 13th Part 5, you may think, well, why was Roy the paramedic dressing as Jason and killing people? Well, you're going to find out here in the next couple of minutes as the sheriff comes and he explains to Pam. So he says they found this wallet on Roy. why he's got a picture of himself in his wallet, but they find a picture of Joey in there. Joey was apparently his son. Again, I don't know who would have been able to take a picture like that was shown in that newspaper clipping of Jason without them being soon to be dead. I figured anybody that got up close enough to get that kind of shot of Jason would have been dead soon after. So Tommy's in the hospital recovering from the wounds that the imposter Jason, that Roy, inflicted on him. So I think these next couple of sequences or so are meant to play with our head a little bit. Because we see that it looks like Tommy stabs Pam in the gut and then is laughing, and he wakes up. That's been a nightmare. He wakes up in the hospital. And then he relaxes. It's like, oh, okay, that was a nightmare. But then he sees at the foot of his hospital bed is what appears to be the real Jason, because once again, we got the red triangles on the mask. And Tommy seems calm, almost happy. And then the real Jason disappears. And Tommy rips out his IVs. How or why he was able to get the mask and the machete and how they got in the hospital room with him, I don't know. The world may never know, right? Just like how many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Roll Pop. So now, apparently Pam really is walking down the hallway to Tommy's hospital room. And she heard glass shattering. And it looks like maybe Tommy broke the window and climbed out into the storm. But we see the door close, and apparently Tommy's there with the mask and a knife. I said machete, I meant knife. And we have no, it was Bob Simone and not Tom. Bob Simone. So I had that. wrong. But we're now at the end credits to Friday 13th Part 5. And the poet and Uncle Bill, I want to thank y'all for being in here with me as I discussed Friday 13th Part 5. And the poet, thank you for being here for the first movie. And thank you for also letting me know that you wouldn't be here for the second one. So, when the credits roll on Friday 13th Part 5, again, I'm going to put the intermission bumper up and I'm going to go away for a few minutes. And if I come back and there's nobody in here, I'll wait a couple of minutes. And if nobody comes in or nobody says, hey, Dana, wait, I'm here, I'm going to watch Witchboard with you, I will call it a night. And then we will regroup for the next Evil Dead Chick Slasher Fest. It may have to go back to one movie. Or I may try the double feature thing one more time just to see how it goes. But again, the poet, Uncle Bill, I thank both of you guys for being in here and keeping me company while we watched Friday 13th Part 5. So I hope that everybody that was watching, even if you weren't in the chat, enjoyed this Evil Dead Chick Slasher Fest for Friday 13th Part 5. And if anybody is still hanging around and lets me know that they're hanging around for the movie, I will continue with Witchboard. Otherwise, I will see everybody on Sunday. All right, folks, we have officially reached the end of Friday 13th Part 5. In case anybody else is in here, I'm going to go away and have the intermission bumper, and I'll be back in a few minutes to see if anybody's waiting around. So.
Intermission time. Pick up some delicious hot buttered popcorn at our concession stand. Hamburgers, hot dogs, and nachos too. Plus an extra large ice cold soda to quench your thirst. It's intermission time. Don't delay. Intermission time. Pick up some delicious hot buttered popcorn at our concession stand. Hamburgers, hot dogs, and nachos too. Plus an extra large ice cold soda to quench your thirst. It's intermission time. intermission time. Pick up some delicious hot buttered popcorn at our concession stand. Hamburgers, hot dogs, and nachos too. Plus an extra large ice cold soda to quench your thirst. It's intermission time. Don't delay.
All right, gang. Doesn't look like anybody's in here right now, but I'll give about 3 minutes. And if nobody's in here by 9, or nobody says, "Hey, Dana, hold off, I'll be in there in just a second," we will not be showing Witchboard. And if I do a second one of these in the double feature format and nobody is able to be here for the second movie, then that's when I will decide to regroup. But I'm going to give it at least until 9 o'clock to see if anybody is interested in watching Witchboard with me. And if not, that's fine. We had one good movie. And, we can show Witchboard some other time. Or I can put it on the poll for an upcoming watch along or something like that. So, again, I wanted to, in case the poet sees this later on or Uncle Bill sees this later on, I want to thank Uncle Bill and the poet for being in here tonight for the first movie. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me to have people's support, even if they can't stay for both movies. Hey, you guys and gals were here. I'm sure there were some people watching that maybe didn't feel comfortable getting in the chat, or maybe they were watching this and couldn't chat at the same time. And I also want to thank the poet again for his honesty. I mean, he said, I won't be here for the next movie, which is perfectly fine. The poet is usually here every day of the week with me for the streams that I do for the week. And I sincerely appreciate his patronage so much. So we got about another minute or a few seconds. And then if I don't hear anything from anybody, I will be calling it a night. It's been fun watching Friday the 13th Part 5 again and watching it with someone, because it's always better to watch these movies with someone than it is to watch them by yourself, which I do enough watching movies by myself. I watch a few movies with Steve here and there, but after you've been married for a while, I guess, that kind of stops. You kind of you spend time together, but you kind of go your separate ways a little bit. Which we got a few more seconds here. I don't expect that anybody's going to be in here, but this was a fun slasher fest, even with just one movie. I'm sorry about that. And it is officially 9 p.m. Eastern time. I know mainly because my alert's going off. But I also looked down at the clock on the computer screen, and it is officially 9 p.m. Eastern time. So thank you guys and gals that were able to be here for the first movie. Apologies if people come in here late and realize that I didn't do the second movie. But hey, guys, I don't want to waste y'all's time. I don't want to waste my time either. But Friday 13th Part 5 was fun. Thank you guys and gals that were able to join me for this. And also thank you for the guys and gals that will watch this on the replay. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your Friday night. And I'll see everybody on Sunday that can make it for my path to becoming a positive renegade. Take care, folks.